Hello, my fellow away dayers, and you are my fellow away dayers. The away day is back. This is your away day guide from Talking Town. You all know me by now. I'm, of course, your host, the Gov, and this is your one-stop shop for the next 30 minutes where we just discuss all things Forest Green from previous players. And Amy does tell me that there's at least 5 for a 5-a-side team. I didn't even think there'd be 1. Well, I did, Connor Wickham, but we'll come to him in just a momento. We talk about the new lawn itself, pubs, parking, trains, park and ride. We've got a load of ideas on how we're going to sort of take this show forward and progress it throughout the course of the year. But this is the first show. Just get our feet back under that pub table, if you will, and back on the train to the away day. As of hopefully the next show, we will have an opposition fan on with us. If you watched our show last night, you'll know how I was a little bit moany about the fact I couldn't find any Forest Green fans to come on. But I'm sure Burton next Thursday is our away day guide. I'm sure there'll be some Burton fans we can find from somewhere to give us the lowdown. If not, a town fan going to the game. As always, you can support the show through Ko-Fi, become a YouTube member, subscribe, like the content. And we have got a couple of games this year. First and foremost is, of course, our fantasy football. I will be putting my team together this evening. I have toyed with going live with it. I probably won't, but fantasy football this year is an operation. Details in description, details in the link in the chat. And in association with Rainbow Tractors, we are doing their prediction league this year. Link is also in the chat. They have got 3 questions. Score prediction, Forest Green versus Ipswich. First goal scorer for Town. And then, of course, your name. So the third question everyone should know the answer to. But certainly the other 2 you may struggle with. Right, let's get cracking. Yes, we also have a feature we're going to add to the end of the show, which I'm looking forward to adding throughout the course of the season. So come the end of the season, we could have the ultimate. Well, I won't go any further. But joining me on this bumpy ride for the first week anyway is this lovely lady, Queen of Hearts, Amy Downs.
Bang fucking on.
There she is.
I love it.
There she is. How are you, Miss Queen of Hearts, Amy Downs?
I'm all good, thank you. How exciting to be back, and how lovely. I really love the new away day graphics. It really feels like we're proper back this year, aren't we? Like, we really enjoyed this show. Was something that we both wanted to do. It was a little idea that we had, and we just we tested the waters. So seeing how many people have been watching us live and commenting and sharing their experiences really made me want to keep going with it. So I'm so glad. And with that in mind, we've upgraded this year, haven't we?
We have, and obviously we went on in the summer. We did some power hours, and we came up with some ideas, some concepts that may work, may not work, may get scrapped after a couple of weeks. One of the things we did want to definitely, and I will stress this, is obviously we did listen to the feedback, not just the good, also the bad. And this week aside, we're going to try and get a fan on either from the opposition or from our own set of fans that are going to the game. We want somebody, whether it's us or not, we want somebody on the show that's going to be at the opposition venue, don't we? This show aside, obviously, we couldn't find somebody.
Absolutely, and we have been chatting with people, haven't we? I'm really excited to have the Scottish fans guy. My God, Ryan, isn't it?
Yes.
My mind is terrible at the moment. I'm shattered. But yeah, so we know that we're going to get Ryan on. I'm hoping to get him on for some of the northern away days, because he and I are hoping to meet up for some of those. Thank you very much. Thank you. I had a weekend in Scarborough last weekend, and although it rained on our wedding anniversary, which was fitting because it also rained on our wedding, the rest of the weekend was bright sunshine. So I think a little bit of the vitamin D has perked me up. But yeah, so we've been chatting with people. But I would really love to, if you're going to an away game and you'd love to come and chat, especially if it's a ground you've been to before and you can come and give us some tips, we'd love to have you on so that you can chat us through what your favourite parts of that away day are going to be. But really, it's just about getting excited. I am so excited for away days to be back. I've got my whole year planned out. I know exactly what I'm doing every Saturday. Seriously, the rest of this year is planned out for Saturdays already. It was as soon as the fixture list came out.
Love that.
Book that.
Love that. Absolutely love that. The way it should be. Absolutely. And one of the things we did say through the well, no. One of the things I said through the summer was my son is obsessed with the show Go Jetters, and I am going to get this into the show, and I've only gone and done it. It might just be for this week, but I thought we couldn't get too good with our graphics, so just enjoy this.
Let me tell you about the place we're at.
The New Lawn, Forest Green. The town of Nailsworth has a population of 5,794. Ipswich Town have never played at the New Lawn. The New Lawn's capacity, 5,140 with 2,041 seats. Facts. Funky facts. I love that. Sorry, I couldn't resist it.
Martin sent me a message a little while ago just singing facts, funky facts. And I was like, oh my God, what is he on?
It's an earworm.
Exactly the same. They love it.
It is an earworm. Believe me, if I carry that on through the year, by the 10th away day, you will be saying, funky facts, funky facts. Let me tell you about the place we're at. So we are in Forest Green at the New Lawn. AD loves it. There you go. See, if one person loves it, then I love it, and we might. Then
we've done our job. That was very well done, Martin.
We can't.
And you are definitely Ubercorn.
Thank you very much.
At the planning everything, organising everything, and then Go Jetters. Everybody goes to different places, don't they? And that's what it is. They travel the world. It's perfect.
It certainly is. And obviously, if you've got a fun fact about the next away day we're going to, so Burton or beyond, then let me know and I will get it in the funky facts. Ashton is so glad he doesn't have kids. Ashton, kids are a blessing. They change your life, but you've never experienced a day until you've had Go Jetters for the 4,000th time. And you know the facts better than Nubicorn knows the facts. But we are at the New Lawn. We are at Forest Green. First bit of business, Connor Wickham, ex-Town boy. He signed just before this game. It's in the stars, as Tiny Temple once said, isn't it?
Without a doubt, I would like to put a fiver on him scoring on Saturday. But I think what's been interesting is just seeing Twitter quite surprised at this. It's a big signing for FTR with respect to them. It's like I think it was the build up for quite a while. I think they were thinking it might be happening, and then it happened. But it was really interesting that he's gone to them because I think he was at Sheffield Wednesday, wasn't he? So it's really interesting that he's chosen to go for a newly promoted side. But having listened to his interviews today, I can see that Mike says you haven't experienced Frozen 4 times a day. Yes, I have. Harry discovered Frozen in lockdown. So it was not leaving the house for weeks on end and Frozen on repeat. Great fun. We love a bit of Frozen. But yeah, so from what I was hearing from the interview is that obviously he's really struggled at he's really struggled for injuries. But he's back, he's fit, he's been pre-season at Reading. So it sounds to me like he's raring to go and wanting to get his season, like his career, back on track. And of course, I wouldn't expect he'll be back in the Premier League again, bless him. But he obviously wants to still do something. And he's only 29, so he's still got plenty of time to still do something with his career. So I think it'll be nice knowing our fans. I'm sure they'll give him a warm welcome. And there'll be a bit of a fuss around him, I imagine, from the home fans as well. They all seem pretty pleased that he's there. But interesting to see what everybody thinks about him being there.
It's almost it's not almost. It is a rental. It's a place for him to go and rehabilitate his career. It's a short-term deal. Good luck to him. Just not starting Saturday. I hope he does well for him. Just not starting this Saturday. They've also signed a Crystal Palace winger, Sean Robinson, who's 21. I believe he's on a free transfer. I don't think it's a loan deal. I think he was released by the London side. So another signing for them. They won opening day of the year. It's going to be a tricky little affair going down to the New Lawn, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. It does look like they've had a lot of comings and goings. And for me, I just feel like they must be on a bit of momentum, must be on a bit of a roll from having won the league last year. So I would expect them to be, in a bit of a celebratory mood, and first home game in League One. You'd expect it to be a nice atmosphere with them wanting to prove what they can do in this season. And actually, that was what a lot of journalists on Twitter said. I saw the phrase mentioned quite a few times. It's their statement of intent by signing someone like Connor Wickham. It's, they're not just going to plod on in this league. They want to actually do something. So that's exciting. And it'll be interesting to see how they go. So, I would expect a tough game, I reckon.
Obviously, no head-to-heads, because this is the first time, I believe, unless it's way back many centuries ago, that we have played each other. Mike said this could be a proper banana skin. Absolutely. Well, Cheltenham was. Started last year, we've got to go there and do a professional job. No head-to-head. We do have a feature called Previous Players. But before we do, my dog is downstairs, literally barking the street down. So while I go and put him in his bed and give him a bone, tell the people at home about the new lawn and what you know about that ground.
Okay, so actually, while Martin's got the dog downstairs, I've got the kids, so apologies if you can hear them all screaming for me downstairs. But anyway, so the new lawn is not one I would think most of us have not been there, but do let me know if you have been there. Aston, I was wondering if you've been on your 92 tour, so you'll have to let me know. But as Martin said in the facts, it's got a capacity of 5K. Apparently, the previous record for that was for attendance was 4,836. I'm sure someone watching can tell me how many tickets we've sold. So I wonder whether we will be able to beat that record. So if we manage to get over 4,800, then we've beaten Derby. So that'll be interesting to see whether we manage to fill out the ground. Apparently the away fans are in the West Stand, which is a open terrace. So let's hope for good weather for you. It's looking, I don't know what it's like down there. I hope it is nice down in East Anglia at the moment, but it's looking positive. So I believe there are some seats. Aston says he has been there, so you'll have to let us know what you think of it, actually, babe, because I know that Aston's been to lots. So it's quite a modern ground. And of course, what we know about, Colin says about 1,200 or so away fans going. So that will be that.
Yeah, we've sold that out. Yeah, we've sold that out.
Yeah, which I thought it went really quickly, didn't it? It was absolutely.
It was always going to, wasn't it? Let's be honest. It's such a small little ground. But it is the first vegan football club, Amy.
Well, they are the first carbon neutral club, I believe, and they've got a new ground in the works, which is going to be wooden, which is really interesting. But the chairman owns I can't remember how they worded it, but like an eco-friendly energy company. He's obviously brought that to the club, and they are, as we know, as everybody talks about, the first thing you think of, I think, when you hear about Forest Green Rovers is the vegan pies that they have. So they've got vegan burgers and corn pies. So it'll
spicy pasties.
Yep. So that'll be interesting for everybody on the day.
I think a lot of that.
Beer. I think it's another away ground that don't serve beer.
No, it does. No, it does.
Oh, it does.
According to my research, is there a bar? There are bars. You'll love this, right? In the away fan zone, which is to the right of the ticket office, they have a bar, and this is what it's called: Truck Norris. I thought that was all good. The Truck Norris, which obviously is a play word for the Chuck Norris.
Favorite food place, isn't it? It's
and they've brought it. The Truck Norris Brew Dog Bar is what it's called.
I love it.
Why not? Why not? But yes, there's a fan zone that you can attend if you are going, which is obviously nice. That's a very modern thing, I think. The fan zones, isn't it? The fan parks. That's well, I think about 10 years ago, for example, not many, if any stadiums had them. But the away fans are very welcome at the Bolt New Lawn. We have an away fan zone to the right of the ground entrance. The away fan zone has a food truck, brew dog bar called the Truck Norris, toilets, always good, and a large marquee with picnic benches for the exclusive use of away fans. So you can get yourself a beverage and a spicy pasty. And I
know that there's a local pub that have tweeted this week, and they've had quite a nice response from town fans. One of my mates, Martin, replied us saying, if he comes, can he have a can he have meat? And she's like, yeah, don't worry, we've got meat pizzas. So maybe you could stock up on your meat before you go to the game. At the George Inn, it's called, and that is the one that seems to be recommended on a lot of places online. So Aston says the food is good.
I was just going to say, I think there's nothing more precious than us meat eaters. We do get a bit, oh, it's a vegan. Yeah, and all right.
I agree. We quite regularly eat corn stuff because it's better on, like, when my other half is on Slimming World. It's like better for calories and things, isn't it? So, and of course, the whole point in the vegan side of things for them is because it helps the environment. It helps reduce our carbon footprint. So it's not.
Don't get me wrong. I am still a Gordon Ramsay. If you've not seen his TikTok, then go and perhaps look at it. But it isn't as bad as it isn't as bad as we make it out to be. Carl, if I had a bar, I'd call it Denver Bar. Love it, Carl. Love it. I do like it. So we've done a bit of the ground, bit of the drinking establishments. We have got park and ride, which we'll cover in a second. Before we do, let's do the previous players. So this is your bit. You go. Over to you.
So I've been trying to think of a name for this since last year, and I still haven't come up with anything clever. I'm trying to think of former five-a-side, but that just sounds boring. So if anybody can think of a fun game, the idea is my goal is to make a five-a-side team out of former players who have played for both us and the opposition. And I have managed 5 today, which is quite exciting. Let me know in the comments if you can think of any players who have been at both Ipswich and at Forest Green Rovers. And obviously we've already given you one in the form of Connor Wickham. So I think what I've ended up with is 3 strikers and 2 midfielders on my list. So let me pull that back up. But yep, so every show I'm aiming to do this former five-a-side game. So do let me know if you think of any players that might be a bit obscure that I might not have thought of. Because last year I'd get as many as I could, but there was always one that came out of the woodwork that I hadn't thought of, especially if you are of the generation who saw games before I did, then you might be able to think of some other names. But yeah, so I've got 4. 3 of them I think you'll get really quickly. And then there's one that'll be a bit of a test.
Right. Okay.
So it's 2 strikers and 2 midfielders.
Let me think about this. Forest Green Rovers. That's their first time in League One. So Connor Wickham, obviously. €20 from David. Thank you very much, David. We appreciate that. Rock on, brother. Thank you very much. Right, we've got Connor Wickham.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to applaud you for that one. That was in the show notes, Martin. You can't have a point for that one.
Okay. Forest Green, League One, first year in League One. So that means they've been playing at James Norwood.
Yep.
Okay. There we go. Right.
He was at them. He was on loan at Forest Green Rovers in 2010, scored twice in 11 appearances, then signed for them permanently in 2011. Scored 48 goals in 161 appearances over 4 years. It was one of his massive sort of time period. That seemed like it was one of his massive clubs, and I think he went to Tranmere after that, and then obviously on to us. So
play Sunday League.
Success there.
Play Sunday League, get Sunday League results. What can you say? That's
not bitter.
Right, that's
no,
mate, no. Right, 2 up top. I'm gonna do a wild card here, and I don't know if it's right.
Okay.
But when he arrived, we got a budgie at the same time as he arrived, and we called him Digby. Paul Digby.
I am really impressed, and I've just seen Simon Harris has typed that one in as well. So that's, well done. He came to us on loan from Barnsley back in 2015. I remember him because we were at Blackburn away and there was a pub opposite called Digby's Sandwiches, and we all thought that was very funny. And then he went on to do absolutely bugger all for us. He's at Cambridge at the moment. So
Ben Morris went on loan there.
Say that again.
Ben Morris went on loan at Forest Green under Paul Hurst.
Well, there we go. That's one that isn't on my list. Nice one.
So we've got Digby because of the budgie, Norwood because of the level, Wickham because he was in the show notes. Ben Morris has come from nowhere. I'm out, mate. I mean, someone says Wes Burns, but surely Wes Burns didn't play for Forest Green Rovers.
Wes Burns has played for Forest Green Rovers. He was on loan there in 2012 and made 6 appearances.
Wow.
So it must have been 2012 feels too early. It must have been 2022. Right.
There can't be a goalkeeper. You can't have found a goalkeeper.
No. The last one is another striker.
Why am I thinking?
So actually, we've ended 3 strikers and 2 midfielders.
No, don't know.
So he's come up a few times in the comments. Let me see if I can give you a couple.
Not Kiefer Moore.
Indeed. We actually bought him from them.
He gets around, doesn't he?
Yep.
We bought him for Forest Green.
Apparently, yeah.
Do you know, those Mick years are just a Jaeger bombed haze. I'm going to be honest. I probably didn't know my own name for most of those years. Just keep doing the Jaegers. The football was that bad. You needed to turn up half cut to get through it. We signed him from. Well, there you go. So
obviously he's gone on to do really good. Well, relatively good things, hasn't he? I know he's
done amazing things.
And then
considering when he came on against Norwich, he couldn't win a header. The amount of headed goals he's gone on to do has been just nothing short of Euro million winning odds. Absolutely amazing. Let's be honest. Wow. I didn't think there'd be 1 or 2, let alone as many as you found there, Amy.
They're all quite recent as well, aren't they? Which I thought was interesting. Digby being the oldest one.
Good old Diggers.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing that one because that was a bit easier to look up because they are more recent ones. It's when we go back and when we've got like Sheffield Wednesday and stuff like that, and there's loads and loads of players. But yeah, so that was a good one. Nice to do a new club this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, that's the previous players. Now let's get to the new lawn. Parking wise, there is limited. Well, there's no general admission parking at the stadium. Or official parking within the immediate local vicinity. There is some disabled parking, though, I do believe, but that has to be booked in advance. So do contact the club tomorrow if you're watching this on Thursday. If it's Friday, as soon as you possibly can would be my advice. But there is a park and ride. Did you know that?
Yes, and indeed, I like that keeps up. Sorry, I just saw Stuart's comment where he's really shocked that we got him. That he says, when we signed Kiefer Moore, I thought, who the hell are Forest Green? Now we're bloody playing them.
I know, that fucking feels like
that's brilliant. So there is a park and ride in keeping with the environmentally friendly theme. Using a bit of park and ride can help with the reducing the old footprint. So that I would imagine that if I was going, I actually do think I would go that way because I believe that actually it's a bit of a bugger to get to on the train.
This is it. I have got a couple of the routes. So let me just show you first and foremost this one, which is on the Google Maps. This is the park and ride route.
The Google Maps are back.
Yeah. I've had great fun this afternoon with Google Maps. So this is the park and ride one. It is on Stroud Road. So you get yourself the Stroud Road, then it will take you into the stadium. It's not massively, a huge issue. It's just the fact it's a little numpty place, isn't it? Really, let's be honest. It's a village. It's like going to Needham Market.
Apparently, it's up a really steep hill as well, so it's a good 30.
And Cruncher says park at the bottom of the hill, not the top of the hill, is what I think he said on yesterday's show. That's the park and ride. This is the train. I have done the train for those that want to go by the train. It's not a great little map, I will be honest, but there we go. You could go from Ipswich through London on the Elizabeth line, and then out the other side. There we go. Stroud's train station, and then there's a half an hour bus from there. So it's about 3 hours and 40 minutes in total if you go by the train.
Just sounds like a bit of a ball ache. I don't like a ground where you have to then get a bus to go further on. It's like Fleetwood, you can get as far as Blackpool, but then you've got to get a bus after that.
You can catch a train to Stroud Station, get the number 63 from Stroud. But please note the last service on the 63 bus is around 8 p.m. Monday to Friday, which obviously isn't a problem for us. We're not a midweek game, but the 63 bus is the one you're after. They actually do ask if you could bike to the new lawn, which I thought was a bit optimistic.
You're taking the bicycles.
You can cut your carbon emission completely by cycling to the new lawn. We have bike racks available for guests, and Nailsworth is part of the National Cycle Network. I mean, I did put into Google cycling from Ipswich. It would take you 18 hours.
You can just imagine it, can't you? You know, when you're out in the car on a Sunday and you just get this gaggle of bikes in the way. You just imagine them all in Ipswich shirts on the way to the game.
Absolutely nonsense. 18 hours, 200 miles. I mean, God knows what sort of road you'd have to cycle down to get
a trek,
there.
Wouldn't it?
I mean, you'd have to take a week off work, just 3 days to get there, 3 to get back, and a day and the day for the game.
The actual game, but you'd be too knackered to enjoy the game.
Yeah, you better work just to recover it.
Not for me, Gav.
No, not for me either. No, I have to be honest, not for me. So there you go. There are trains, there are cars, there's a bus, there's a park and ride. I imagine, though, Amy, that it's going to be a fairly busy situation, being such a small place. It being their home opener in the league they've not played in before against box office Ipswich Town. You're going to want to get there possibly as early as you could.
Yeah, I would imagine there'll be a lot of people going by the coaches. I've seen people struggling to get tickets for the coaches for this one. That way you don't have to worry about it, do you? But you're right. I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge. And one place I did say, thank you, AD, because you've just reminded me, I did see Nailsworth Primary School, which is near the ground, next to the ground. Is an option, and I think that's only a £5. Aston says I got to the ground around 1:30 and there was no parking left at the school next to the ground, so went back into town. So you're absolutely right. Unless you get there really early, you're probably going to struggle a bit, but maybe that's when the park and ride comes in.
Yeah, so there's the ground. There's Nailsworth Church of England Primary School. Yeah. If I was going, I'm not, but if I was, I'd be leaving as early as I possibly could, just because. Yeah, it's going to be very.
Well, I would as well because I'd go to the pub. So.
Well, yeah, no, exactly. There's not this. I'm going to be honest, without swearing, at 8:00 on a Thursday. There's fuck all around this ground. Like you got APS Compute. I mean, where's the burger bars, man?
We've not got the
Georgian.
So
Enid
that
and Ethel's
one that seems to be really popular. It's had really good.
Enid and Ethel's Popcorn Company.
Oh, there we go.
Good old Enid and Ethel. Good old Enid.
If anybody's going and they get some popcorn from Enid and Ethel, do let us know. Get a picture and tag us on Twitter.
Good old Enid and Ethel. I might name my next child Ethel. Ethel Lambert. Why not? Beautiful name. Beautiful old-fashioned name. Don't get many Ethels these days, do you?
No, I wanted to name James. I wanted to name him Albus, but Luke would not let me because he said that he'd get bullied. I feel like Ethel's another one of those that you just get trouble when they get older.
You could call it Enid. You could call it Enid Ethel. There you go, Enid Ethel. Ethel and Enid.
Even better.
There you go. And then put some popcorn on it. 80. There's a parking at Nailsworth Primary School, but you have to pre-book. Doesn't say that on the official guide that I've got, but you know. I don't know.
If you can, it's worth it, isn't it? So you know you've got a spot.
Absolutely. Georgine says, Colin, I'm all over it. Good for you, Colin, man. Get taking pictures when you get there. I hope you enjoy it. You've got Amalfi Restaurant and Pizza. Oh, I went to the Amalfi Coast. It's a beautiful place. Beautiful place. I don't think this will be anything like that, but you never know. You never know. What's next, or have we done our guide?
That's it. We've actually come to the end of it pretty much bang on time. I do like our shows. We never run over, do we? We're very efficient.
Never do. No, we might do when we get some guests on. But let's just recap then. So to get there, you can go by train, car. If you go by train, you have to get the bus from Stroud train station. If you go by car, park and ride is available. Alternatively, park down the hill, not the top of the hill. There's no parking at the stadium. Pub-wise, there's an away fan zone you could go to with Truck Norris. Love it. And if you get a bit the old munchies, Enid and Ethel's Popcorn Company. I'm sure they're going to be having some great stuff. So,
what a winning away day that sounds like.
Yeah, arrive, see Connor Wickham score. He's one and only goal for Forest Green. leave broken-hearted. That sounds like a classic away day, doesn't it?
Fully expected.
Fully expected. I suppose the
It's
last thing to say
out
is,
that matters.
what is your score prediction going to be, Amy?
Oh, I would like to see us build on the positive start. So I'm going to go for 2-1 to us, with Wickham scoring for them and Wes Burns scoring for us.
Okay. All right. Wes Burns
The
scoring
old
for us?
ex-player thing there.
Like it. I like it. All right. Well, let's see where we go. Obviously, you're on holiday next Thursday, so I am on the lookout for a stand-in co-host. I may ask Colin. So, Colin, clear your diary, providing you can stick to half an hour, Colin. Because as you can see, we do not go over in this show. This show's about conciseness. But yeah, because you're in the Norfolk.
I am. So tomorrow we are going to Wroxham for 7 nights on a boat on the Norfolk Moors. I cannot wait. And then when we check out of that boat, we are going straight to Ipswich. And we are staying over for the night so that I can take Harry to his first game for MK Dons. I can't wait. So I'll be in the fan zone that Saturday. So that will be my first game of the season. So I'm really, really excited about that. Really excited about taking him. He's been asking to come quite often lately. So I thought while we were down that way, I'd take him for his first game. He has been to see the Ipswich ladies, actually. He saw them play at Huddersfield. And enjoyed it when we were scoring, but we ended up on the concourse for the rest of the for most of the game. David, he's been asking if he started talking about going on the pitch, and I was like, "Oh no, darling, we're not allowed on the pitch." Why not, Mummy?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Be allowed.
No. You'll be banned for life. David, what about me? David, if you want to message the TT account, absolutely more than welcome to come on. You know that. 2-0 says 80. But yes, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll see you at the MK Dons game. Enjoy your holiday. You can lead us out and I'll press the button that takes us out.
Thank you. Just before we go, we did have a really nice idea, which we're hoping that you guys will contribute to over the rest of the season. So I don't know about you, but when I go on away days, I have certain songs that I like to listen to. And I do tend to, you go to something random crops up in a conversation and that song will forevermore make you think of that game. So what I would really like to start doing, either tweet us or pop in the comments, what are your favourite away day songs? For me, it is the Fever Pitch soundtrack. We used to listen to that on the way to Portman Road with my daddy when we were younger. So that's my football day songs. There's loads on there, like There She Goes and things like that. But I would love to hear what songs you listen to on the way to away games. And are there any in particular that remind you of certain games? C'est la vie, Bewitched will always be, for me, Barnsley away, because we were singing It's 5-3 at the after that game on Sky. So we had great fun with that one. So yeah, let us know. And then each week I'm going to ask you if there was a particular song that would describe a game. So actually, I'll have to get you to do it for me next week, Martin. But if there is a song to describe the away game at Forest Green Rovers, we will add that to the playlist as well. And I'll get that all sorted when I get back off holiday. We can get the playlist set up for a week's time.
Got one created on Spotify. We will just add to it through the course of the season. I will put There She Goes on it from your week 1 entrant. I am going to put Journey Don't Stop Believing as my week 1 entrant, because this is the year, and don't stop believing in our wonderful
Ant's
team.
just given us another one.
Seven Nation Army. What we'll do is you get the songs in, and then we'll try and choose 1 or 2 each week. So if you don't make it that week, do submit it again and again and again, because it's a long season. And then by the end of the season, I think we'll have a good playlist on Spotify that can take us into hopefully what will be the first championship year. Who knows? But
we're still feeling hopeful at this point of the season, aren't we?
Absolutely. Adi says, moving on up, the Wembley Playoff Final.
Yes.
There you go. So there's 2. We've got 4 songs on our playlist. I will link it on Twitter, Facebook, for those that want to get, see it early doors. But we're done. Yeah, great idea. The TT Away Day playlist. Love a bit of that.
Very exciting.
Right.
I think that would be a bit of fun for us all. Colin says, enjoy the scum broads. I've packed 5 Ipswich shirts, so I will be wearing an Ipswich shirt on most of the days whilst I'm away.
Oh, dear.
And the boys have got theirs in as well, so there might be a few of us that end up in the river.
I'll see you next Thursday. It's all part of the fun. You make me smile when I think of you. I get down low and I get blue.
crazy from just the thought of you.